Hi everybody, I'm back and I know I had a bit of time off. I had to rest my hands on doctor's orders, so I've had the brace on my hand for day and night for a couple of weeks, and it's starting to get a lot better. So I know that I've been and done a whole heap of stuff, and I've got like lots of videos I can make about all that, but what I thought I'd do is backtrack just a little bit before I start on the whole whirlwind trip of Juanette arriving, us looking and seeing a lot of Melbourne, going up for the workshop with Rachel and Sarah and Juju. So while we were doing the Roxy Girls workshop, we got some packs of lovely things. Now I will do a video of that after this. And what I've done is use some of the beautiful materials, and I've decided to make a kind of a, and this is thanks to Helen, who did a very similar thing. She was at the workshop. Helen from Western Australia, hello. Helen did a heart, a stuffed heart, and I thought I'd like to do that too. So I've pinned the two together. I was going to sew it, and then I realised what I'd like to do actually is decorate my heart before sewing it all together. So this is going to be my backing, and this is going to be my heart. So I thought I'd get a few of these lovely little scraps from Rachel, Sarah and Juju and start to put on a couple of little patches on the heart. And begin to sew them down. This looks a bit the same on both sides. So I think I want a nice square of that. Now, I think I like to see as much of the flowers and at least one of the birds. Well, those two birds down there, maybe this one's got its head cut off a bit. Maybe I'll put this one up here. Put a bit of this here. And a bit of that there. Just pin it. Yes, honestly, what a whirlwind the last week and a half has been, but what fun. So, much learning, much friendship, quite a bit of camaraderie, although I know that everyone stayed for Fleur Woods. Well, a lot of people stayed for Fleur Woods, but I had to get back. Because I had an art exhibition to put up, as I've mentioned before, and this is my own work, and it's a retrospective of my printmaking back in 2009 with one new work where I have upgraded one of the works to be more of a textile piece using some textile things that I've learned over the last few years. More on that later. That's going to be in another video. I don't want to make one great big long video of everything. I want to separate them out so they're kind of little standalones. So I don't know that I'm going to bother sewing along the edge of the heart where this material is, because I've pretty much decided I think I am going to machine sew it. Part of having to rest my hands a bit means I will have to think a little bit about just sometimes making it a bit easier. So anyway, Helen had a lovely apron on. She had a lot of handmade badges and things. Badges, all different sorts. And then for her February Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, she had made a heart brooch and pinned it on, and it looked wonderful. And I realised I don't think I've made a heart brooch, so I thought that would be a great idea. So I'm just doing a running stitch around the edge of this one. Now, if anyone goes and watches Creating Craft with Christine's video, she has been showing a bit of what they've been doing with fleur woods at the workshop. And you might get to see the lovely dog Chester. Chester came up to me and he just leaned on me and I gave him a big pat, and he was so adorable. He would just, I love a dog that just comes and leans on you. I don't know why. It's like they just trust you so much and they just come and want a great big huge pat. And it's just adorable, really. It really is. Anyway, you'll see a bit of Chester's if you watch Christine's video. Now tonight I have to go and start 3 days minding some cats, and it's a married couple who live next door to each other, so I have to mind the cats in both houses, so one in one house, one in the other. So it is going to be a stinker this week. It's going to be 37 tomorrow, 37 degrees, not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. And it is going to be 31 or 32 or something the next day, and then I think the same the day after that. So we've got quite a heat wave happening here in Melbourne. Oh, and Adelaide, I believe. Someone told me they were going off. Yes, that's right. I'm minding someone's cat. She's going for the first time in many years over to Adelaide, and Adelaide has... it's called WOMAD. Now, I'm not sure. I think it's World something or other Adelaide. Anyway, music festival. It's a music festival. And I haven't been there for a very long time myself, but one of my clients is off there, so I'll be popping in to feed those cats on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Lovely cats. Yes, but oh my goodness, everyone's going away and their poor pets. I'm just going to be putting on everyone's air conditionings, especially tomorrow. That's shocking. That's a shocker of a day. 37. Funnily enough, when Juanette was here, if I'd say 37, she'd go, "Oh, I'm from Arizona." I'd be like, "Oh yes, it's hot there. Very hot." So didn't even bother her. But I'm sure she will make a few videos of all the things she did and saw while she was here in Melbourne before going up to visit at Robinson at the Green Door Studios with the lovely Zoe, who has been a wonderful host, made me gluten-free rolls. I'm not 100% gluten-free, but she still went to the extra effort to make me 2 lovely rolls with fabulous fillings. Actually, I'll take the pins out as I'm going. What a lovely little place Robertson was too. Gorgeous little shops. Gorgeous little town. Really lovely people at all of the different places. We went for breakfast on the Sunday morning before the class started and ran into Helen there, who Juanette had met. Juanette. I did get it right. Now I'm making a video. I've reverted back to my original. Anyway, Juanette had met Helen on the trip to, I'm not sure if it was to Paris or if it was just the part of the trip that was to Italy last year at Rachel's. And they were good friends, and it was Helen's birthday. So here's a little heart to say happy birthday, Helen. So we had a lovely day, and we ran into her and her daughter at the little local something Moon Cafe, I think it was, which had the most amazing beautiful baguettes and gorgeous bread. And I had a, so I'm stitching, but I'm talking about food because Juanette and I realised we both were foodies, and so we had quite a few good bits of meals when she was in Melbourne, quite a few exciting little meals. Anyway, I had for breakfast, of all things, it was like sourdough bread, sourdough toast with a kind of a, I think it might have been a bit of a stir-fry zucchini or something like that. And it had cod, little tiny pieces of cod with little kind of cubes of roast potato on top, and then 2 poached eggs. And the poached eggs were perfectly cooked. But my goodness, it was a big meal. And then Zoe made me 2 great big gluten-free rolls for lunch. So anyway, the point is we ate very well, and it was most enjoyable. I met some lovely people. I hadn't done a drive like that for a while, and after my hands had just been on rest, it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. My back was a bit sore. Juanette got a bit of drive on the wrong side of the road done. Tick that off the bucket list. I'm sure she will tell you in her videos when it's Crafting Corner. Yes, have a look out because she does interview me. Little old me being interviewed. But that was fun. We had such a good laugh and a bit of a chat about my exhibition that's happening. It's up now. I've driven up to Ballarat, put it up, and it is up now. I've got to find some things, other things to embellish on this. Okay, I have just dumped my pile of things. We got a little bag of buttons and a couple of little French laundry labels at the workshop with Sarah and Rachel and Juju. I've got my little yellow buttons that I kind of seem to carry around with me. On Instagram, Vickelchick, gave us all a little packet of buttons, and that was really lovely. So I might use something from there, because it's nice to have little memories. So this is one of my favourite types of lace, so I might put that on. All right, I've already picked out my bits of material for the housewif, which I've been wanting to make for ages. So we got lots of little things like antique bits and bobs. There, I've seen Sarah using a bit of that before, I think. And I've also just combined it with a whole heap of beautiful things I got from Natalie a long time ago. So I've got quite a few bits here. So let me rifle through them a bit, and oh, look at that, isn't that just gorgeous? So I've got lots of things. So I'm not going to put anything on the back because I'll just put a pin and this little antique rickrack. All right, let's have a look. A bit shiny. So I've got a few bits. That might be a bit too big. Oh, actually, oh yes, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I do want to definitely still use some of those in the little book that we made. Oh, isn't that cute? There's just so many bits that we can put on. But I'm trying to get what matches. I might use this as around the book that we made, so keep that aside. And I also have a whole heap of just tiny weeny little scraps, and they come in handy. So look at this, isn't that cute? All right, I've got sort of reds. This was a gift from Helen, but I was thinking I should really have put that on the heart, but I think that's for something else. All right, let's clear the way a bit. Now I don't want to cover those little birds. Maybe that can go there. Some of my little stamped Hessian. I quite like that colour. Now I just have to remember I've got a seam allowance here, so let's just pin that there. That's nice, I like it. Let's pin this here. The main thing is I don't want to cover up those little birds. Thanks, Vicky. Thanks, Past Me. Thanks, Rachel and Sarah. Thanks, Helen, for the idea. This is gorgeous. Oh, I think I'd like to do something like that, but I'm going to do that after I've sewn the bits together. What else is in here? No, covering up the bird again. Don't want to do that. Okay, a little bit smaller I think I need if I'm going to do that. This is one of the beautiful things we got from Rachel, a bit of printed out material. She's probably printed that on her printer. It's gorgeous. That's not what I need. That's too big, that's too big. What about that little tiny one of these? That's nice. It's like a little eye. Snip that. Don't really need this extra bit here. I'm happy to use red thread for this to just keep it in line with that backing. I'm just going to do a little bit of whip stitch around the edge of this. I'm going to come back when I've sewn this down and this, and I've sewn it to the backing, and then I'll do a little bit of work with more embellishments once it's sewn, like that beautiful bit of lace up here. Now I just have stitched this down, and so I used some of this, just this old antique cotton, and I realised that Vicky had put these gorgeous little beads in, and I thought I should, before I go any further, just come back on and sew these down, because they'll look really nice in the middle here. I'll go through about 3 times, I think, because it's just a cotton, and I might just secure it on the back as well. I love the colour. It's like a pale lemony greeny colour. Wonderful. All right, now I am ready to go and stitch it together and stuff it and come back and do the last bit of the embellishing. All right, I'm back and I have sewn this together. And I'm just pulling it inside out, and I'm using my trusty pencil to help. So here we have the heart. I will put some wadding in, but just having a look at it as it is now. Just going to see what else I might like to put on it. I haven't got that little dip there as deep as I could have. However, I still like it. These little buttons, they look like little lollies, but they match that colour there. And what else is here? This is from Vicky's little pack. It's more like a bead than a button, but I think these are two beads. That doesn't matter. We can still work with that. So I might like to get a thread that matches. So while I've been going through my stash and sorting out my garage studio, finding all kinds of things that need a home. That's exactly what I just saw that might work. So even though I was sticking to the reds and a little bit of the teal, when I put this stamp on, it really changed the whole idea of where this colour palette could go. It fairly uniform with the reds, and even this was a sort of a neutral addition, but the Suffolk Puffs are brighter red, and then this is that toned down colour. So I think it'll be a nice little addition to the colourways. Yeah, so this is DMC 316 Cotton Pearl 8, size 12. I'm going to poke this in up through here. So this is the beauty of not quite stuffing it yet. If I had stuffed it, I could still go through, but I've got a little hole here that I can use, put my finger through to help. All right, so this first, this little bead, I think what I'm going to do is make it like a pinwheel go round. Okay, I can feel that the hole's not super big when I'm trying to do this, so I might not be able to get lots of rounds in there, but we'll see how we go. Perhaps I should have made that hole a little bit bigger, but it will suffice, we'll manage. I might be pushing it to get a fourth one, so what I might do is not come back up through the middle again and just put that out the way, come out here ready for the next bead. Probably could have done a few things like wrapped them. But I'm sticking to this sort of pinwheel type of effect. All right, I think I'll do this hole's a little bit bigger, so I might just do six. It's quite effective. And now the next one, just get around here on this one, fiddlier nearer the edge here, just cast it off and secure it inside. I was going to put, let me get that pencil again. I'll use the pointy end because it does look a little bit like these aren't as pointy as they could be. Now I was going to put a bit of that lace, if I can find it. Here it is. Oh, it's just beautiful. Let's see if it still might work now that it's all sewn. So I wasn't planning on putting a lot, but do you think it makes it look a little bit lopsided? Like it works well here with this, to my eye. On this side, it sort of feels like it's floating a bit, and it doesn't make sense there, but it seems to make sense here, which doesn't make sense because that's a really very cluttered side. However, it seems to work. Who am I to argue? It's very peacock. It's like a little bit of a peacock feather, isn't it? Or an eyelash or an eyebrow on the eye. So we want our little tiny bit of white that we've got left. I've just got the thread up in here, and I'm just picking up a little bit of that top bit of the heart and just securing it down through those little holes there. As it's sort of floating, it doesn't need much more securing down. I'm just going to tie it off under there. And I'm thinking this is really quite beautiful, the right side, in terms of decorations. Maybe it's one of those things where this little area is just meant to speak for itself on its own. Tuck in that. I'm actually not sure it needs any more. I think it might be happy the way it is. But I actually almost thought I might not stuff it with stuffing, but use batting instead and just have it small and flat. But I'll just see how I go with a bit of this. So I finished this video, honestly. It's taken 3 days to make. I've been racing backwards and forwards to Truganina to mind the three little cats over there, running back over to mind 2 cats in Coburg, and then 1 around the corner in Glenroy. And it's been 37 degrees every day. So I've been doing a little bit in the morning and then just getting on with trying to get through the heat. Okay, that's, oh, yes, that's okay. I'm happy with that. It's not too puffed up. Just wanted it to be sort of flattish. So the old ginger cat Barry that I've looked after for many, many years, his owners went off somewhere. I don't know where they are. However, I got a message when I was supposed to be finishing saying that she was sick and vomiting, and so they couldn't catch their plane, so they've had to extend, well, not their holiday, because I'm sure they're not having much of a holiday. He took her to hospital this morning, so I said, oh, what happened? Is it, you know, food virus? Or so he's not sick, but she is, so they're thinking it's food poisoning. I always find it a bit odd when it's food poisoning for a vegan, because you would not think there would be a problem with any of the food. But who knows? Who knows what happens? I'm just going to close up this hole. So that's a bit unfortunate. An extra day or two for me looking after the old man, Barry the old man. Barry the ginger, the old ginger cat. Okay, he's only around the corner. He's no trouble at all. Sweet little thing. It's just old and a bit arthritic now, so how long he's got. Just enjoy the time. Today is going to be 37 again, and the last in a long couple of days of, you know, 37 to 39, and tomorrow's going to be 27, so still warm, but at least Barry will be allowed outside now and get some fresh air. It's so weird because it's autumn. It's like summer took so long to start here, and now it's autumn and we're having heat waves. It's just odd, very odd. I just realised I put on old glasses and they're not working too well, so I'm bringing it up to my face. My other glasses are in the lounge, but no, I'm finishing this. I am going to finish. Also taken my scissors. Been doing some collaging in the lounge and making a few printables, as I love to do. Okay. There's my little heart. Now that it's got stuffing, I can reassess. I don't think I want any more on it. I really, I don't want to overdo it, I think. I think I just like it like this. That's what I was thinking, maybe. I was wondering if I could have it so it shows. No, probably there's not, unless it's like lopsided like that as a pin. It depends where it's going, doesn't it? What do you think? I'm thinking, I'm not a kind of a wear your crafty badges type of person. I do love it, but I think if I pinned it to something, I would be okay about the pin being here or here. I guess I can only sew it and then try it on something and see if it works. You can't see it like that. This is just going to be a range of little stitches. I don't know. I might end up having to help this with a bit of fabric glue because this might still slide up and down. So this is a bit of a bodgy job here, sewing it on. So see, it can still kind of do that, and I don't want it to do that. Yeah, it's nice to get home to my own bed, always after overnight pet sitting. It's always good because I never sleep very well, and I'm usually up at 4 or 4:30 every day. It takes me a little while to go to sleep, and then I'm up really early, so I'm actually, by the end, I'm quite sleep deprived. And also, not every cat is hypoallergenic, and so for some reason that overnight one, 3 cats, they all seem to have a lot of fluff and fur, and it makes me sneeze. I'm usually pretty good with most cats. Anyway, I'm not complaining. I love those little cats. And this morning I just had a lovely cuddle with one of them, watching a few YouTube videos. Oh, actually, I'm doing this tight enough it's staying. That's good. I'm glad. I did not really want to get the fabric fix out. All right, I think that's pretty secure now. All right, so here's my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery Volume 5 February wearable. And I hope you like it. I think it's really cute. I love it. I think I will hang it on my apron from the Journal of Stitchery treasure map one. Okay, so I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.